Hey, what's up, everyone? I wanted to jump on live with you guys today to talk about one of the topics that we covered inside of our community boardroom call with all of our members inside of Legacy Farmer this morning. And the member and the topic that we're primarily discussing is the number one reason ag bankers don't like me or what we do at Legacy Farmer. Now, for those of you that don't know me, I grew up on a multi-million-dollar family farm operation out in Western Kansas. And I was there when the entire thing went bankrupt in 05 or 2005 or so. I was 14, 15 at the time going through high school, and things didn't work out. Anyways, the entire operation went belly up. Now, you need to understand this is an operation that my granddad started clear back in the 50s. My dad and my mom dedicated their entire life to staying back on the operation. They never left that town that they grew up in. They stayed at the operation and helped build that thing. And basically had their life's work, disappear in front of them all within 6 months. And so obviously that's a very difficult situation. Following that experience, I kind of took the traditional route and went to college, got a degree, basically wasted 4 years of my life. And anyways, I got into banking after that. I became an ag loan officer and got into banking for 5-6 years of my life. Now, this is kind of why this is a relevant topic today, because, one of the biggest things that we're doing in Legacy Farmer is we've put together a training curriculum and built out our own software and tools and everything and we help all of our members go through and get their numbers organized, right? We got to have things simplified. We got to know exactly like, hey, what's one foundational metric that we can always go back to whenever we have a big decision coming up inside of our family business or our operation. And I think we can all agree there's no small financial decisions really inside of your farm operation. Throughout the year, a lot of our members, they're running operations that are doing $2 to $5 million a year in revenue. So every decision they make, it's a big decision. We need to have simplified numbers and one solid metric to always go back to so that we can really challenge ourselves on whether or not we're making the right decision, or are we shooting from the hip again? Are we just kind of winging it? Are we using all of our emotion to make this decision and whatnot? So anyway, so we help all of our members go through that. Now, inside of that process there, remember, I was an ag banker for 6 years. I also grew up on the family farm and understand the emotional side of running a farm or cattle operation and the family dynamics that go into it as well. And the reason why people do what they do, right? Why farmers think the way that they think and how they think through decisions and why they're emotional part of the time and the sentimental value and all these things. So you really have to understand both ends of the spectrum in order to, in my opinion, be a really good loan officer. Now, again, back to the whole point of this topic is one of our members came on the call today and he goes, JC, I've been given my numbers, which we call them farmer metrics. That's our software that we've built out. I've been giving my farmer metrics to my banker and over the past year, and I can just tell like the entire tone that is in that office whenever I have conversations with him has changed. And I said, well, what do you mean? He goes, he knows that I know how the game is played now, and he knows he can't just run stuff by me and I'll just agree to whatever. He knows I'm going to challenge him on things. So you need to understand like why that's really valuable. So a lot of my videos and stuff I've posted over the past few years, some of them I've went pretty hard at banks. Now, I'm not saying all banks are bad. Okay. What I'm saying is, in my experience over the past 4 or 5 years of running Legacy Farmer and bringing in over 300 customers from around the country, I got exposed to a lot of different farm operations, but two, a lot of different banking institutions. And I can tell you with certainty that there are some banks out there operating today and screwing over their customers, right? And not giving their customers the level of service that they deserve when the customers are paying them 50 to 100 grand a year in interest, right? So this is where my issue comes up. Again, there's a lot of good banks out there that do a good job, that do care about their customers and everything like that. But when I was in the banking industry, there was a massive disconnect between what the customer thought the bank did and how they made decisions and what the bankers actually use to make decisions and how they think and how that business operates. Now, the number one reason that a lot of ag bankers don't like what we do in Legacy Farmer is because I'm taking all of that information that the bank needs and what they use to make decisions and giving it to the farmers, giving it to our customers. I'm training them on exactly how the banks make money, what information they need to make decisions, how they determine interest rates, and the biggest one, where you can push back and negotiate. It blew my mind that we had customers come into Legacy Farmer that have had interest rates, and I'm talking some really strong customers too, with a lot of equity, good cash flow and everything across the board, paying interest rates that were 2-3% higher than what they should be paying just because they didn't know how to negotiate the rates down, didn't know what the bank was looking at, didn't know how to have leverage on the banks, which in today's world, it's the government and the banks that have all the leverage on the farmers. So yeah, I'm kind of being the daredevil and jumping over to the other side, and I'm training and educating these family farm operations on how they can fight back and push back so we can make sure that they're getting the best possible deal when it comes to their financing stuff that they're doing at the bank. And I'm talking interest rates. Like some of these guys, we've had customers come in that went in, we helped them get their numbers structured, and they go back as like a new, completely different business and person walking into that bank when their numbers now all of a sudden completely organized. They know exactly what their position is with the bank. They'd also understand not only what their position is with the bank, but also what the bank's position is with them, right? There's risk management on each side of those things. And I'm training them on exactly what the bank's looking at as well. So you have more weapons when you understand how both sides are playing the game. How much power does your opponent have when you already know what they're going to do? You already know what they're going to say. Well, they have none. They have none. So that's what we're doing with with all of our customers inside of Legacy Farmer, because we're helping all of them organize their numbers and putting them in that position where instead of walking into the bank and feeling 2 inches tall because they walk into the office, the bank starts throwing around all this lingo and words that they don't understand or whatever. And then all the customers are looking to do at that point is just like, hey, can I just get this paperwork signed so I can go farm? Right, and do what I want to do for the year. Well, that's not the way business should be done, because when that happens, this is when you start paying 2%, 3% more in interest rates than what you really should be, right? Because the reality is some of you that are going to watch this video, your operation is not a huge risk to the bank, but you don't have the numbers organized well enough to know whether or not you're getting a fair rate. And that right there, that one mistake right there could easily be costing you 50 grand a year in interest, depending on the size of your operation, or even if it's 5 grand. 5 grand is a lot of money too for that. So there's all these things here that factor into this. And the reason and I should rephrase the title of this video, the number one reason some bad ag bankers don't like me. The good ag bankers understand what we're doing. We've had a lot of positive feedback from our customers taking their numbers into good bankers, and their banks are like, yeah, this is great. You're one of the top organized customers that we have at the bank. And I'm not joking with that. That's what I want to take our customers. I want our customers to come in completely disorganized. In the bank's viewpoint, they're like a grade D credit, just because they're so disorganized. I want to turn them into a grade A credit, because the grade A credits at the bank are the people that get the best service. The grade A credits at the bank are the people that get the best interest rates, and they can really get whatever they want. The bank is going to take care of them because they know they're a grade A credit, and they could walk to whatever bank they wanted to. Anybody would be happy to have them. So now the banks start fighting for you and to get your loans, which is the way it should be. But that's not reality, though. So a lot of the bad ag bankers don't like me because I'm exposing their weaknesses. I'm giving their customers everything they need to push back against that banker. And when people don't like being exposed, what's the first thing they do? Lash out, right? Start being emotional, start placing blame, start making up lies or whatever that is. You guys should see some of the terrible messages I've gotten from bankers, bad bankers over the past few years, just because I'm exposing them. Right. And I'm exposing their lack of effort in really helping people. Okay. And if you really want to help your farmer or your customer there, you need to train them on exactly how the bank is making decisions. You're looking at all these numbers. Some of the banks are supposedly doing cash flow for their customers, which should not be happening, by the way. The customer, you are responsible for your cash flow. You should be the one knowing what's in your business. The bank is nothing but an investor in your business. They are not your business partner, because if they were your business partner, they'd be signed on your operating agreement. They'd have ownership in your company, but they're not that. They're an investor looking for a return on their capital. So we need to understand what that gap is and what that difference is. It's your responsibility as a customer to be keeping track of your balance sheet, to be keeping track of your position with the bank, to be keeping track of your cash flow and where you're going to be at throughout the year. And those are all the tools that we help our customers get in place. That way, when they step into the bank, any questions that the banker could have, we've already answered them. It's already in the paperwork. We already know what they're going to ask. We already know if we want to get another $1 million loan to go buy ground, we already know what the bank's going to say. And even if we do get pushback on it, okay, great. We have points and everything lined up to where we can argue exactly why they need to do this deal. Right. So those are the things. We are empowering our customers to walk into the bank. Now, again, the bad ag bankers that have just gotten by for years and just basically filled their customers full of shit, basically, and haven't been able to explain terms, haven't trained them on anything or whatever. Yeah, they're not going to like me. Straight up, they're going to hate me. They're going to trash talk us and what we're doing and badmouth us and everything like that. The reality is, at the end of the day, they cannot bury the truth. And the truth is that I have over 300 customers from across the country inside of Legacy Farmer that are structured, organized, know exactly where every dollar is going inside of their operation, know how the bank is looking at their operation, are grade A customers now for the bank. And they have so much better opportunities now going forward because they have this stuff in place. And again, the bad ag bankers, they're going to hate us. We expose it. We expose all the shit they've been taking the customers through. We expose every angle of it. So good for them, right? Talk shit all you want, talk crap on us and Legacy Farmer or whatever. The thing is, guys, is out of there's a lot of companies out there that do business with farmers, right? But you can ask any one of our customers inside a legacy farmer. We actually go to battle with the farmers. We actually we care about these people. We step into their operations. We help them get all their numbers organized. Not only do we help them get them organized, we want them to know the numbers as well as we do. I want to train them on exactly what they are looking at. So again, they control the power when they walk into any bank they walk into. That's the way, in my mind, that's the way business should be done, right? And like when you think about the agreement when you're going to get a loan from a bank, it should be a win-win. It should be a win for you, right? On your side as the farmer or the producer, you should be getting favorable rates. You should be getting good customer service. Your operation should be profitable, right? You should understand how the bank works, and the bank should be willing to answer any question you do have. But on the other side too, yeah, the bank, they're loaning you money, right? So are they going to get a return on investment? Yes. Is it much higher than a lot of people realize? Yes. Like farmers do not understand how banks make money and their return on investment and the capital that they're investing. So but again, though, it's a win-win scenario, and it needs to be a win-win scenario. That's the way I look at legacy farmer, right? I want to bring in customers, and I want their return on investment coming into legacy farmer to be 5x, like easily. I want to provide so much service there that it's a massive win for them. Now, when I do provide that service, I want it to be a win for us as well, and being able to earn a testimonial or something from that customer, and an honest one, right? All of our customers and everything, I always tell them, like, I don't want you just to give me a testimonial just because I asked for it. Like, we want to earn it. Our team wants to earn it. So I just believe in win-win contracts. It should be the same thing with you working with your bank. And the reality is, a lot of farmers and ranchers across this country today, they're in win-lose contracts. We went over one of our customers' numbers this morning. He's trying to refinance some debt, and it's a large amount of debt from the bank. And the bank it's a win-lose contract. That bank is going to profit off of him big time. They have repayment penalties in place. They are going to lock in his interest and their revenue for years and not give him the ability to move that loan anywhere. That is a problem, especially when he knows his numbers like he does. He understands what his position is with the bank. And when I look at his numbers and see how strong of a position he has, there is no reason that the bank should be coming down on him like that. So what does he do? He says, well, based on where my numbers are at now, Mr. Banker, why are you guys pressing me so hard on this deal? I either get this, these are my terms, this is what I'll agree to. You guys either meet those, I'm going to take my loans and go down to the bank down the street. And our customers can do that, and they can do it really quickly, because every time, a lot of people don't want to go to new banks because they have to sit there and each bank asks for what? New balance sheet, 3 years tax returns, whatever. Our customers already have that. So when they want to go and research going to another bank or send their financials to another bank, it literally takes 30 seconds because they just export their files, sending it off. All the questions the banker could have are already answered in there. Like, they're good to go. Okay. So there's just a lot more, what I want to say, efficiency in doing that, right? And it's a lot more valuable for the customers long term. So I just wanted to share that with you guys because, yeah, we get a lot of people that, again, talk trash on us, but you need to understand why. You need to understand what the truth is behind it, because we are exposing the things that a lot of these bad ag bankers should be doing in the first place. And when they get exposed, yeah, they're going to get angry, just like anybody does in any situation in life. So my friends, that concludes today's video. I've been going for about 15 minutes now, so we'll cut it off here. Would love to hear any comments from you guys below. What experiences you've had with bad bankers or different scenarios that you've been through with your bank where you're like, hey, this didn't make sense to me. Make sure you drop a comment below, because I'll respond to you and answer, like, if you got any questions there. Because what I've learned when I was in the banking industry in Kansas here for 5-6 years, I saw banking done as one certain way. Well, what I've learned after working with over 300 customers across the country, banks around the country do things a lot differently. So yeah, I've seen a lot of different scenarios and a lot of situations where you're like, why the hell is that even going on? Why is that even happening? So make sure you drop your comments below. I appreciate you guys being here to watch, and we'll catch you on the next video.
What's up, everyone? My name is Jace Young. I'm the founder of a company called Legacy Farmer, and inside of that company, what we do is we've helped over 300 family farms simplify and streamline the entire financial side of their operation and help them learn their numbers at a deep level so that they can implement the systems and the processes to make sure that their operation lives on for generations into the future.